All right, welcome back to House of Prep. My name is Jerry. It's good to see you guys. I wanted to talk about having an exit plan in life. Uh, if you're like me, hey, when I go into a restaurant, I like to sit maybe back in a corner somewhere. I like to be able to sit where I can face and see everything that's going on, and I like to know where my exits are. I just do. I know the main entrance I just came through is one, but I also look around where are the emergency exits. Where's the door that leads to the back kitchen that would lead out to the back of the building? I just like to know those things. I don't know if anyone out there is that way. That's just how I've always been. I've been wired that way. I just feel comfortable knowing that. If I'm facing a wall and my back is to everything else going all around me in the building and I can't find the exits, I don't see a lot of stuff going on, I get a little anxious. I just like to know an exit strategy. Okay? Now, take that into using that into real life. Now, that is real life, but to everything that we do in life. Look, having a personal exit strategy is being proactive and taking control of different areas in your life rather than being at the mercy of someone else. Kind of think of it as playing offense other than defense. All right, not allowing what goes on in your life to be handled and controlled by somebody else. Have your own exit plan. So, for example, let's say there's some kind of a catastrophe, right? A big emergency, big SHTF situation. You and your family members are all separated. Something happens. Sometimes things don't announce before they happen, right? You don't always get a forewarning when something big may take place, and you find yourself separated from your family. Do you guys have an emergency plan? Do you have a family emergency plan, an exit strategy per se, of how would we contact each other? And where would we meet if we were all separated and we weren't able to contact each other? Is there a place that we would go back to, or we would congregate to re-establish communications of some sort? But having conversations about that and thoughts about that, having some kind of an exit strategy, an exit plan, we use that in life. First, I want you to ask the question and maybe write some of this down. Write down why and the reasons. If you are watching this, probably 95 or plus percentage of you are already prepping, or you've begun the journey of prepping. So ask those questions. Why do I want to prepare? And what are the reasons? So once you've written down some of those reasons of, well, why do I want to prepare? You could write down, well, because sometimes a hurricane hits my area and power can go out for a few days to a week, and I wanted to have emergency supplies for that. Write that down. You might live up here more north, like I'm here in Tennessee. You may say, I'm more concerned about the tornadoes. Some people may say, well, you know what, there's a real, with all the different technology that's out there and people that are trained and always looking to hack things, I'm concerned about the chance of a grid down situation. Or write that down. Sometimes to know the why and the reasons and have that solid, have that nailed down of the why and the reasons why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you putting yourself through this? Why are you preparing? Why are you storing up and stacking up on items? Have that. Sometimes that's good to have that all written down because it solidifies it right up here in your mind. The second thing, figure out what you need to consider and what you need to get there. Because once you've established the reasons why, and those reasons can be different for everybody, sometimes each one of those things might have a slightly different path on how to get there. If all you're wanting to do is have a week's worth of supplies, well, that's a lot quicker to obtain. It's more obtainable, maybe less expensive to do than someone that says, I would like to be able to survive off grid for a year or 2 years. or indefinitely. Well, there's a lot more steps that will need to be taken, and a lot more work, and a lot more commitment and dedication to get to that plan than there is on the first plan, where you're just wanting to have a very small set amount of days. Now, either way, there's no right or wrong answer. It's what you're prepared, as you're writing this down, what you're committing yourself to. And it's okay to change your commitment once you've reached a goal. Sometimes once you reach that first, hey, I can now sustain my family for a month. And the more that you watch the world around us, and the more that you hear things, and the more that you rub shoulders with people with stories, you start realizing, well, maybe I want to bump that up a little bit. And so now you have a new goal. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with adding more layers to what you're preparing for in life. So number 3, create a timeline of things you need to do. If you're looking just to get a week's worth of supplies, go ahead. When do you want to accomplish that goal? Consider your budget. Consider how busy you are and your family. See if it's just you, is it your spouse, who else is assisting you with obtaining the items that you're needed. Come up with a timeline. What is your goal? Do you know, in life, this is for anything in life, if you actually have a timeline of a goal of something you want to get done, you're more likely to get something done. You're less likely to procrastinate. Surprise, you are. If you have a timeline, hey, I want to reach this goal by the fall. If you don't say it out loud, you don't put it on right, you don't put it in paper, if you don't commit to that timeline, well, what if I fall short and, I miss that timeline and I didn't quite make it? Oh, I'm a failure. No, you're not a failure. Look at how much ground you've gained. Look how much you've gotten done up to try to get to your goal. Go ahead and complete your goal. But set a timeline. Set something down to where now you can see the finish line. And that'll help you get there. Number 4, execute on your exit strategy. If you have a plan, you've gotten a timeline, you've gotten it written down, you know why you're doing it, you know the reasons behind what you're doing, then go ahead and execute it. What are you waiting for? If you're watching this and you're still new to prepping, or you're considering prepping, you're like, Jerry, look, I've watched, hundreds of YouTube channels. And, they talk about all this stuff and it just seems so overwhelming to me. Look, it's okay. Sometimes I watch those videos too, and I feel the same way. And I find myself, I'm just more watching them because I'm entertained, right? I like to see what else is going on out there and who's doing what in this. But don't become so bogged down that you're missing what you're doing for your list, the reasons why you're doing it in your timeline. So don't get caught up too far in that. Look, another example would be like small things too, like your exit strategy, right? These are fun. Like, okay, you're going to a party or a get-together, a family get-together, friends get-together, whatever kind it is, and you already know, I want to have an exit strategy. I'm not planning on being there all night. I want to go, I want to, wave my hat, hey, how are you, shake hands, have a little food, and then maybe this kind of a party or whatever, I want to be done by a certain time, I want to get back home. So you already have other things in life that you make an exit strategy, right? That's how you do sometimes. Hey, you've been there. Don't try to hide. I see you. You've thought these things too. You've been there. Okay. Try to have an exit strategy out of conversation. Have you ever talked with somebody, you see them walking up and you're like, oh no, they're looking right at me. And now we're getting ready to have a conversation. I'm already thinking of the exit strategy. All right. What's going to close out this conversation when I kind of feel like, okay, we're done talking. You're thinking of that exit strategy. Okay. So we do it in things in life. We do it socially. So we do it in more areas than just the physical survival mode that sometimes we think, right? So there's other things that we do, and it's okay. It's good to get your mind thinking like that. What about debt? You're like, man, I got all this credit card debt. And some of you guys have some stories how you've had an exit strategy. I would like to see the exit strategy. I want to see the ending of my debt. I want to see how I can get out of that and get out of debt and become a little more free, right? So what you do is the same thing. You find out the why, right? Why do I want to get out of debt? Sometimes you have to ask yourself that question so you can commit yourself to it. Why do I want this? Why am I getting ready to put myself through pension pennies and not buying all my favorite stuff because I want to put all that money to pay off my credit card debt? Why do I want to do this? And the reasons behind it. What are the reasons why? And then you can even go another step farther. What are the benefits of doing that? Write this all down. And once you see it on paper and you're like, yeah, that's what I want. The reasons why, you know, what's going to be the benefits. Once you see all that and you really commit yourself to it, then you can start, hey, I want to figure out what I need to do and what to consider and what do I need to get to my goal, to get to that end game. So then you start writing down, I need to start maybe not buying as much of my favorite coffee, right? Or for my favorite diet Pepsis. Maybe I need to drink more water. Maybe not eat out as much. Or maybe, you know, whatever it is you come up with, whatever it is you're willing to do to help get you to that goal. Well, write it down. Get it to where you visually can see it and you can believe it, you can buy into it. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to do a buy-in for yourself because you want to get a buy-in on no matter what it is you're doing in life. You want to get this first person, this is the first obstacle right here, because a lot of times we put walls up, whether it's a wall of procrastination or a wall of I'm afraid of failure, right? We put up all these obstacles in life, and if you can get past you, it's so much easier to obtain the goal, and you'll realize I can get to that goal. So then you start create a timeline of things you need to do. So then, okay, I want to get out of debt by such and such a time. Based on everything I've been writing down, things I can do, I can make a budget, and here's my timeline. Again, why is it important to have a timeline? So you'll commit to it. You want to buy in and you want to commit. You want to put, number 4, execute your plan. I want to get out of debt, and here's the plan. I've got to start doing it. We'll start today. I was getting ready to spend money on XYZ, but now I'm not. I'm taking that money and we're putting it towards the debt because I'm executing my plan. I've bought into it. I'm committed to it. So no matter whether you're prepping or you're trying to make other goals and things in life that you're doing, you can do that with relationships. You know, why do I love the person that I love, right? Why do I do it? But you see what I'm saying. You see how you can use this whole segment and apply this to anywhere in your life. But especially since we are in a prepper community, do that. So just a few more quick things, and I'll close this out. So tell important people in your life what you're doing. If you go back to prepping, so you say, okay, I want to start prepping, I want to do this. Well, tell the important people in your life. Let them know what you're doing. Well, they may not understand me, or maybe I have told them and they don't understand me. But now they may not be on board with you. They may not want what you want. But when you do things that you do, they'll understand why, because you've told them. You've explained to them your dream of what your passion is, where your heart is, where your goals are. So when you start making choices of doing this or not doing that, and well, why are they doing that? Oh, that's right, because they are now preparing. They're now getting out of debt. They're now whatever it is. Tell the important people in your life so they know. Number 2, 2 more things. We'll be done. Number 2, no, I'm sorry, 3 more things. I lied. 3 more things. Create a new mindset and habits. So if you're stuck on an old mindset of things and the way that you used to organize and the way that you start changing those things, create a new mindset and a new habit and start developing yourself. Look, number 3, surround yourself with like-minded people and communities. If you've subscribed here at House of Prep, and I hope you have. If you haven't, please subscribe to this channel and hit the bell to get reminders. This is a great community. Surround yourself with this kind of a community. There's other great channels out there as well. Surround yourself with like-minded people that are on the same path that you are, right? The same type of goal. Anticipate how to keep persevering when fear kicks in. Sometimes in life, we've all had it happen. Something happens and you get fearful. It could be a big event in life, right? that fear sets in. Go ahead, start thinking ahead now. Prepare your mind, prepare yourself. If A, B, and C happens, this is what we're doing. We're implementing our strategy. We're implementing our plan, our exit plan, right? We're going to implement that because we're preparing mentally for that fear that we know is coming. How you're going to handle that fear. We're not going to live in fear, but we're going to use that fear to help initiate our exit plan. I hope that makes sense. Listen, make your dream to create your new life as important as everything else you care about. So make your dream, make it just as important to you as everything else that you're doing in life. If you make your exit plan real and important to you, just as important as all the other stuff going on in the world, all the distractions, all the activities, and if you make it just as important as everything else that's important to you, you can't accomplish it. Remember, it's got to go through you, the gatekeeper. You're the gatekeeper, and this can be the gatekeeper. So get past this, get through your obstacles, get your exit plan up, and I hope that you guys keep persevering, and I hope we do many, many more videos together. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys have a great week. I'll talk to y'all later.